Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to everydaycarrying.com. Today we're going to take a look at the Switchback flashlight ring from Thyrm. I'll have to admit, when this first came out, I started seeing it on the internet and I was a little slow to jump on board. One of the main reasons why it was originally intended or marketed towards two specific flashlights. They have two sizes, a large and a small. The large one, they really marketed towards the Surefire Fury flashlight, and the small one, they marketed it towards the EB1 Surefire backup flashlight. Now, I'll admit that I own two Surefire Furies, but it's not one of my favorite lights. Not a lot of texture or grip on the flashlight. And living in Florida, it's either raining or I'm sweating. And it tended to get a little bit slippery at times. So I wasn't a huge fan of it. And the other reason why I didn't get one as soon as they came out was because I carried an E1B, which is the older Surefire backup model. And the smaller Thyrm Switchback was not compatible with this light. So I kind of stayed on the fence for a while about if I was going to get it or not. I thought it was extremely interesting, but I didn't really feel like I had a flashlight that I would really want it on. A couple months ago, I finally decided that I was just going to get one of the large ones and try it out on my Surefire Fury that I had. So I ordered it, a very reasonably priced product coming in at just $19.99 from their website, Thyrm.com. And I ordered it. It came very quickly. And as soon as I got it, I took this light, put it aside because I realized it was going to fit on pretty much any flashlight that I had with a 1-inch body. What I chose to put it on was my 4.7's Maelstrom, and it worked perfect. And as soon as I put it on, I haven't taken it off since. This is the light that I carry most of the time, and ever since I put the Thyrm Switchback on it, it has not come off. It's just awesome. It's easy to use, and it has so many benefits. So today we're going to walk through some of those benefits along with do a few demos on how the Thyrm Switchback can make any flashlight better. Let's go to the tabletop review. All right, guys, we're here on the table with the Thyrm Switchback flashlight rings. And, the first thing you'll probably notice is the logo here. This was a collaborative project between Chris Costa of Costa Ludus and Thyrm. I'm sure, Chris Costa gave them some tidbits of information here and there to make, a better product. So that's one thing that you got to realize. First of all, this was a collaborative effort. The biggest thing that I like about the Switchback is, it adds a pocket clip to lights that mostly come from the manufacturer without one. A lot of 4.7's, Surefires, none of them come with a pocket clip. So, within an hour of putting one of these in your pocket, being a larger light, they slide down in your pocket, then they turn sideways. People don't know if you're happy or, if you just have a big flashlight in your pocket. With this pocket clip, it keeps the light exactly where you want it at the top of your pocket, so it's easy to access whenever you need it. The fact that this is made out of plastic, as you can tell, it has really good retention to it. I've never had my light fall out of my pocket, sitting down or anything. But it also, because it's plastic, it's not going to shred the outside of your jeans like a lot of stainless steel pocket clips do. And then the next feature you're going to see, of course, is the big, huge loop here, the combat ring. It's a really good size. Some, might think it's a little big, but I like the fact, I have large hands, and it fits in my finger, and it still has a little bit of wiggle room actually in it. So, I could wear a pair of thin gloves and still be able to get it in my finger without it bunching up or anything, and still be able to access the Switchback if I needed to. And then here you see what I consider the thumb bump. You know, it's how it gets activated when it's in your hand. You know, if you're using it in conjunction with a firearm. You know, one of the things that I like is you know, when you flip this light over, you know, there you can see the thumb bump being used, but also when you turn it back, now you kind of got a little bit of an improvised weapon. If you were ever to have to use this in a self-defense case, you know, it's not brass knuckles or anything, but it still gives you, you know, a little bit more of a damage credit than you know, just your knuckles. So, you know, that's something that you can see as well. Very sturdy construction, extremely easy to put on. So easy, I'm not even going to go through it. You just simply, you know, take your tail cap, unscrew your tail cap, take it off, take the O-ring off, slide the switchback on, slide the O-ring on, screw your tail cap back on, and you're good to go. You know, it's super easy. Once the tail cap is tightened, the pocket clip or the switchback will not slide or swivel at all. You know, it's completely locked in and fixed, so you can kind of set it wherever you want it, you know, between, you know, grooves or something that might be on your flashlight, and you know it's not going to rotate. As I said, you know, this product was made to be universal with pretty much every 1-inch body light that's on the market. I'll show you a list here of what Thyrm has on their website right now in regards to what it's compatible with. But remember that not even this flashlight is on that list. So so it works, you know, with a lot of different flashlights, not just a Surefire. And, you know, it's just such a great feature to add to any, what I would consider a self-defense carry flashlight. You know, it's a little bit larger, and it just gives me the control and the usability of it is just fantastic. So let's take a look at some of the demos on exactly how you use the Thyrm Switchback flashlight ring. All right, guys, before we get into some demos of the Thyrm Switchback flashlight rings, I wanted to talk to you about a couple other things. First of all, you'll find that there is some controversy, you know, throughout the internet and YouTube in regards to the fact that this product is made entirely out of plastic, with the ring of the Switchback also being made out of plastic. Now, they're not the only game in town. You know, Raven Concealment makes a combat ring similar to this. Surefire makes a version of it as well. And theirs are stainless steel pocket clips with a rubber O-ring for a ring that you put your finger through. And the controversy comes in regards to, you know, if you were to have this on your hand and say you were using you're in a combat situation, would you want, you know, your finger to be in something that is hard? Most companies make theirs out of rubber in case the flashlight were to ever get ripped. The O-ring is going to break instead of breaking your finger. That, I think, is a good point, but I much prefer the hard plastic ring of the Switchback due to the fact that, you know, over time, that O-ring is going to wear out, dry rot, and rip. And the last thing that I would want in a cold weather situation, or if, you know, it's just been on my flashlight for a long time and I needed to rip that light out of my pocket, that my finger went straight through the O-ring, and now I'm fumbling for a light when I need it the most. The other advantage that this hard plastic pocket clip has is when you actually put it in your pocket and clip it, the hook, you know, the ring is always going to be oriented in the same place. It's not rubber. It's not going to be, you know, potentially going down in your pocket. It's not going to be going to one side or the other or flapping out. You know, with this, it's always oriented in the same exact place. Every time I put my hand down, my finger can go right in it and it comes right out into position. So that is one of the advantages that I think the Switchback has over rubber style combat rings. So let's take a look at at how this switchback is used. Most people that you see on the internet use this in conjunction, with their firearm. You see everybody, pulling it out and flipping it over, and that's great. But there are so many other EDC ways that you can use this product without ever pulling out your firearm. I mean, let's face it, at the end of the day, your firearm is the least used item in your EDC system. Almost every day we use a flashlight, we use a pen, we use a multi-tool. We hope that we go through life with never having to pull out our firearm. So, I love the fact that I can pull this thing out and it still allows me to use both of my hands at the same time with retaining my flashlight. If I had a flashlight without a switchback, I would always have to, keep a finger on it if I needed both hands, or, how many times have we, stuck it in our mouth and to get two free hands. And it comes to daily activities, like, having to get groceries when it's dark outside and I need both hands, to try to get 12 bags into one hand to make one trip into the house because we're men and that's what we do. But also, if I had to pull this out and somebody was coming against me and, I needed to use both my hands to grab them or to grab somebody and move them out of the way, if I needed to, I still have the capability of both of my hands without ever losing my flashlight. I can flip it out of the way, I can grab things, in regards to hiking. If you're hiking at night and it's raining or you're climbing up, a hill or something, you can flip it out of the way. You can still have the ability to use both of your hands without the possibility of your light, tumbling down the hill while you're trying to go up it. So those are some of the advantages that this product has that's not even firearms related. But I will tell you, when it comes to using your firearm, this product makes using a light in conjunction with it so much easier. The first thing that you're ever going to do, I believe, if you're ever going to think about using your firearm, you should use a light first, to identify the target that you're potentially going to draw your gun on. So, we bring that out, and as you can see, I don't know of any faster way to draw a flashlight. I can be completely relaxed, shirt over my pocket, and just in 1 second, I have a light that is ready to use. Extremely easy to use. Now, what this gives me is if I drew my light and I felt like my life or somebody else's was in danger and I needed my firearm, I can still flip it out of the way and use both hands to clear my garment. I tend to use an appendix carry rig like the NCOG system. That's what I go to, and I've always practiced on two hands to clear the garment just to make sure that it is clear and out of the way, and I can still hold it while still having a grip on my flashlight and pulling out my firearm, and now I can get into position. Very simple. It also helps if for some reason I have to reload. I can still rip open my shirt, grab another mag, orient it, and get it into my pistol as fast as possible without ever having to let go. The other advantage with a firearm, I got my M&P Shield here, is you can use pretty much any way of using a flashlight in conjunction with a firearm that you've been trained. You can go off the neck, you can go more FBI, you can bring it around and go more a Harry's grip, or you can flip it over and go with the conventional grip, and still use your thumb to access the light. That's what sets this apart from not having a combat ring in your system. You're going to have to hold it and still use your thumb, which isn't bad, but now you don't have a full purchase on your gun like you do if you were to use the combat rings. So that's the big advantage of it. There's a few slight disadvantages, I would say, but they can all be worked through training. One of the things that I noticed is when you present the gun, when it's normally in your hand, it tends to aim a little bit lower than the bore of your firearm. When you go to press it on, it kind of goes in a downward motion. Now, one of the things that I noticed is the higher up that I get it, the closer I get it to my big knuckle, the straighter, it actually starts up and then ends straight, as you can see. So that's just one of those things that it takes to, it takes a little training to get used to. But all in all, I believe that this is the best combat ring system that you can put on a flashlight. And I believe too, if you're going to carry a firearm, you should always carry a source of light with you. And if you're going to do that, you should have a Thyrm switchback on it. Guys, I hope you like this review. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.